Hello, so let's just get straight into this video. We'll take a look at the dollar index, we'll take a look at Bitcoin and then Ethereum, then we'll take a look at some dollar based FX pairs, Aussie dollar, pound, euro, just everything that I'm looking at this week. I don't want to take it too long, I just want to keep it nice and simple and short and to the point. We'll take a look at the dollar index first. We do have a short-term high here, a bit of a pullback, but overall the momentum of the market is to the upside. We are above some support here, so we have support here, resistance, resistance. So any pullback into this area is just an opportunity for me to load up again on dollar plays to the upside. So let's take a look at Bitcoin with that in mind. We'll take a look at it from the weekly time frame first, and I've just drawn two levels to note, and I don't really want to go much further higher up or down the chart. I just want to know what's relevant to price now, what's relevant to the week ahead. And we have resistance here, resistance, support, support. So above this level we could be bullish, but below this level we're bearish. I've took this high, I've taken this low, and this is the midpoint of that. So let me just draw that in so you can maybe see it a little bit better on your screen. We have resistance, 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 and resistance. If you're looking for more upside, say we've come down, we've hit this support. If you're looking for more continuation to the upside, then we really need a weekly close above here, retest, and then that's where we're looking for maybe 31k to come back into play. But whilst we're below here, everything is looking bearish. This becomes the target, these lows, support. Until this is broken back above, then I'm looking for selling opportunities. Let's go down into the H4. You can see on the H4 I've drawn this channel structure from this low and then from this high. We've got three touches up here, resistance, resistance, and resistance. You can see that midpoint acting as resistance here. So if I'm looking for more downside, I want to see this channel break. I want to see a retest of this structure, resistance, support, support, and then I want to see more downside. This is where I want to be getting involved. That's the trade idea. 27.2 would be the area where I'd start looking for sales. If we break back inside, say this deviation back inside the channel, then you know that the trade's off, and that's how you get out of that trade. If you're looking for more upside, then you simply wait and see what sort of reaction we get from this level. If we get a nice bullish reaction, then you know that your next target is 28.1. If we break that, then we could be looking at these highs and maybe the whole way up to 31k. That's a bullish scenario, but underneath this level, as I said, I'm bearish. And for me to get involved in a trade, this channel low needs to go, along with this structure. Break, retest, that's where I'm looking to get short. First target, second target, keeping it nice and simple. You'll find that if we put on our indicator, we do have some confluence with the previous weekly low here. Monday's low at the moment is just still printing, so we need to let that unfold. If we can get below the previous weekly low, then we'll have continuation to the downside. So let's go and look at Ethereum now, the weekly time frame. So a few levels to note on this weekly time frame. I've just got this structure trend line acting as support. Support here, and support. So if I'm looking for more downside, these cluster of lows that have been acting as support, been holding up the market here, been holding up the market here. If we get a weekly close below there, retest, then that's when a lot more pain is coming in my eyes. We look for this low and we look for this low. But this is just, if this happens, then this is how I'm going to play it. But at the moment, it hasn't happened. So I'm on the sidelines and waiting. This other level that we have here is a current yearly midpoint, and it's relevant to where price is now. We have resistance here, support, resistance. Failure to break out above with this big blue candle here, and then we broke straight back below, which is a very bearish sign. If you are looking for buys, I would wait for price to break back above this yearly midpoint. Resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, and resistance. If we do get a bounce off this trend line, retest, then that's when we start looking for a continuation to the upside. But whilst we're below this current yearly midpoint, and if we can break below here and retest, then that's where I'll be getting involved again with Ethereum. So at the moment, I'm sitting on my hands, waiting for something clear to present itself to me, and then I'll take it. So let's move on to FX. Aussie dollar, one of my favourite shorts. as you can see, the momentum of the market, even on the weekly time frame, is very bearish. It's just about where do we get involved with this. At the moment, you know, we have these lows, and we have these highs, consolidation, maybe before the next leg lower. It just gives me a bias that I want to be looking for selling opportunities, but the price action in here hasn't been great. But if we take a look at every time price has taken out a previous weekly high, let me just zoom in so we can get a proper look at this. Previous weekly high. If you started looking for selling opportunities once we broke this high and around here, presented a nice sell to the downside. We have this weekly high taken. We'll also bring in this weekly high. So you're on alert. Once these highs are gone to the upside, then this is where you're starting to look for a reversal to the downside. Presents a nice trade to the downside. So no weekly high has been taken. So that would be my next point of interest, really, would be if we can take out a previous weekly high. Something like this. Then this is where we start looking for selling opportunities. Then we're looking for the trade back down to previous support. So if we go down into the H4, although price action is a little bit tricky, we can put on our divider. We have a previous monthly midpoint, where I'm looking for a swing trade, but we also have this previous weekly high here. If we can deviate that, get back below, we could also probably follow structure, something like that, break, retest. We have the monthly open there as well, and then that's where we get involved with a sell opportunity in Aussie. At the moment, the price action, just looking at it here, it's not really tradable for me. Even though Monday's range is unfolding, it's still not tradable for me, because if I was going to use Monday's low for a continuation play, we have a previous monthly low here, and we don't really have much room to maneuver to the downside. Maybe there's a play at Monday's high, a deviation, something like that, but I prefer to wait for these weekly levels, something like this. And then we can see if we break below this monthly open, that'll give me the trigger to get short on Aussie dollar. Let's take a look at pound as well to the downside. We'll just stay on the H4, and we have some nice structure here at this previous weekly high. If we can break above there, break back below this weekly open, then that's where I'm looking to sell, and I'm looking for this yearly open again to be tagged, and maybe come down to this previous weekly low. But I do have a target zone at this consolidation that led price up. That's where you're probably going to get a reaction again in pound. So nice pullback. If we can take out the high, look to deviate, get back below, that's where I'm looking to sell. So I'm just looking for this dollar strength to kick in, and I feel that Aussie dollar to the downside and pound dollar to the downside are probably some of the best opportunities. We'll take a look at euro. We have nice structure here where we have previous support, resistance, previous weekly high. We have Monday's high, we have the weekly open. Any push up into this area, sell off, then this weekly open would provide a nice area to get involved with a move to the downside again. The target zone was just this consolidation that led to price rocketing up here. Well, not rocketing up, but I mean providing a nice pullback. We had previous monthly low, support, deviation back inside, and that's what's presented the pullback. So that would be a nice area to target again, where you maybe get a bounce again if it was to just stay range bound in here. But we are bearish in this instrument, and we're coming up into an area where we sold off before. We sold off here, resistance, resistance, resistance. So if we do come back up into here, we'll be looking to sell that again. Let's take a look at dollar CAD. Nice pullback on dollar CAD. Overall, keeping it simple, we have previous weekly low here, yearly open, monthly midpoint in this area. We also have resistance here, resistance here. This is the first area I'm starting to look for buying opportunities in dollar CAD. You could follow structure as well, you know, just take this high, follow structure down, wait for that confirmation, that break structure, that deviation of that previous weekly low, and then that'll give us nice target zone of the previous weekly high. I do have a buy zone down here, the current yearly midpoint, this area for a swing trade. If we get down there, that'll be my second area to start looking for buying opportunities. But the first area is this previous weekly low. If we get a nice reaction of that, then that's where I'm looking to buy. So that's all I'm looking at the start of the week. We do have some CPI out on Thursday to keep an eye on, but I just really take it day by day. I know I'm presenting a sort of weekly outlook, but as you know, markets change pretty quickly and ideas change pretty quickly. But that's the foundations I'm looking at for the week ahead, and I wish you a profitable one.